Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Slippy and Thrifty Show. I am Thrifty. Below me is my co-host, Slippy. Hello, Slippy. How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm ready to get going on the show. We've got Mikey and Sean in the house. The fearsome foursome is in play today. What you doing? Rapping? What is that? Is that a?
This is 4 people and 4 people scissoring.
Oh, wasn't that what we did last weekend?
What was that move you were doing? You were doing something?
I was just patting Sean on the head.
Oh. Jeez Louise. All right. Well, today's topic is you've lost your entire knife collection to a tornado, to a hurricane, to a thief, to Patty.
Oh no!
It didn't matter really who or what, but you've lost it all. So what are you going to do? Who are you going to call, Mikey?
Ghostbusters.
That's right.
That's right.
Come in and stolen all your knives.
I'd probably just call the police. Yeah.
Yeah, police might have been a little more.
Actually, no. The UK police. There's no point.
You would call the police and say, "I've lost 400 knives." They're going to be so pleased to get that phone call, aren't they?
Only if the 2 local ones got it. If anyone else,
they say, "How many knives did you have, sir? How many UK legal pocket knives did you lose?"
Yeah. So that's our topic. So that should be a fun one. Let's get through the knife news and then we'll get started. I guess we should play the music. Always got to play the music. Lizard skin. Tiny trap.
Lizard skin guppy tiny trap. That's $55 for a trapper that's 2 and 3. Next.
Go ahead.
I'd like to take a look at that dyeing on the bone. I think it looks pretty cool. I know it's really small.
Yeah, it's a 2 3/8 inch closed length. It's interesting though because it is a single blade and it's got the worn clip. At least it doesn't have a spade blade on it. So
I mean, if you want a nice little fifth pocket, I mean,
yeah, that's what it is.
$55
right?
Though.
That's a bit much for a fifth pocket, but not bad from Case. I've seen worse. Up next, we have a little bit of a modern style knife. This one from Kaiser. This is their little grand slip joint knife. They got 2 variations. You want to go ahead?
2 complaints.
What's that?
The blade looks very stabby, and why are the inlays on the covers cut out in that shape?
They're I-beams, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
I guess it.
They don't look terrible, though. I will say they don't look terrible.
It looks like maybe the liners are shaped that way. I don't know. If you see the bottom there, you see how they're kind of protruding.
Yeah.
Towards the edge. I don't know if that's what it is or not.
Big old sharpening tool on them.
Mm-hmm. But I thought they were interesting. $60. Thanks, Chris, to help me find that. Jason Beaster just came in. Hello. We'll get to all the roll call here in a minute.
Do we know what steel they have?
Yeah, you'll have to look into that. I forget what it was.
I shall look into it. Well, we discuss.
It's Kaiser, so it'll probably be something decent.
From Case. We love you, Papa.
Papa, can you hear me?
You can get an engraving of anything you'd like on your knife for $51. This is the Sod Buster. But next week we're gonna have a little more fun with this, with some occupational series. And
I love the occupational series. It's my favorite series that Case do.
But they kind of had one here on the right. This pipe fitter trapper. It's like a logo with 2 wrenches crossed over one another like this, right? And yeah. So pipe fitter trapper. So if you're a pipe fitter.
Could I be like a 70s radio DJ and BBC presenter?
You could do that. You could absolutely put that on one of their knives, yes.
Fantastic. One for me and one for Sean.
Yes. Pop 80s pop performer, as a matter of fact, could be on there with a bunch of glitter on one side, explosions, maybe some rabid fans on the other side, like screaming.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But they weren't screaming for enjoyment.
They could do a Glit Buster.
Mm-hmm.
The Glit Buster.
That's right.
How much? $212.
That's correct. This is the Finch.
Well, let's
steak cutlery.
Let's find out the specs first from John.
In $390, 3 varieties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So take your pick. They're from Finch. Like the wheat steak cutlery is their new brand. So it's sort of an offshoot of their regular Finch knives. So they're kind of higher end, I think, higher end steel, that kind of thing. So yeah, $212. Well, there you have it. Not a fan, huh? Guess you guys don't like it.
It's not a bad looking knife. I'm not sure if it's over $200 worth. But
all right, we'll just remove that and pretend like we never saw it.
Not a bad looking knife.
What was that slip joint called? I've been looking for it. I can't find it.
The Kaiser.
Yeah.
It was called the Kaiser slip joint.
Yeah, it was the Kaiser.
I asked.
I don't know. Presentation. Have to go back to it. You really want to see it again? We can do that. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, I found it. Little grand.
Okay, there you go. Little grand. That's it.
It has Nitro V steel. What's that?
Nitro V.
It's not bad
what's
still.
it like?
It's okay. It's not bad.
It's pretty good. It gets used quite a lot.
Pre-order currently.
Mm-hmm. All right. So lie and hit the like button if you enjoyed the program thus far. If not, well, then just sit there on your ass and do nothing. Okay. Sean, would you like to go first, or I want to make damn sure that you get to have your say?
Yeah, I don't mind. I'm easy.
All right. Because you're always in the background, being in the shadows. And hell, now you got a damn black shirt on, so now you're more in the shadows. I've never seen him wear a plain t-shirt like that. It's throwing me. He's quite becoming in his black shirt. I like it. All right. So let's hear what you have to say about losing all your knives. What do you do?
Well, this one's given me nightmares, to be honest with you. I've been probably overthinking it, but I was laid in bed in a cold sweat last night thinking about how I'd approach this topic. So all the knives are gone. I need to get a knife, and where do I start? No surprise. First port of call would be an Arthurite Barlow.
Boom, ya, booyah, right off the bat.
So that's kind of got me covered in terms of an EDC carry, UK legal,
right?
Good working blade, easy to maintain, something that tried and tested.
But just a basic model, right? To start, just to get your feet on the ground, right?
Yeah, it would be. I guess everybody's going to probably have a different spin on the scenario, but
right.
Mine is everything's gone, and I need to get some knives back in my collection.
Right.
But I'm kind of thinking not so much collection. I'm going towards the users, because the collection side of it would be more of a luxury once you've got some knives back to carry. So that would be my first purchase.
You're making a lot of sense, John. Making a lot of sense with that.
That's scary. It doesn't happen very often, so enjoy the moment. I would think then, in terms of a user and a carry, a Vic Climber. Just because of the tool set. Easily available, super useful. Again, like I say, it's just one that you can carry. It's not too heavy, not too bulky. It's got reasonable set of tools. I think the main thing really is having the scissors on it. So having those two, I would feel like I was relatively well kind of covered for day-to-day stuff. Yeah, now again, both basic models. So then from there, I guess it's kind of refining your carry. Yeah, so this is the thing that I was kind of, again, a little bit perplexed about. Do I satisfy my kind of daily carry with that and then start trying to refine things a bit more, or do I just kind of introduce a few more basic models to give me other options, you know, like a lamb's foot, sheep's foot, blade shapes. If I was going to do that, I would probably go for the tackler. Again, Arthur Wright. Not expensive. It just gives you another option in terms of cutting with that kind of blade shape.
That's a great choice there. I like that. I like that idea as well.
I think the next thing I would go for would be, and it's probably a bit of a toss-up between the two, but
who's tossing?
Either the tackler or the case. Sorry. Just because of the blade shape and the price of the sort of Sodbuster Junior is. I'm trying to think. You know, you're going to have a lot of outlay to make if you were trying to replace the whole collection. So that would kind of give me another kind of good working blade.
Yeah, I think either that or a Barlow being like the first thing to pick up.
Yeah.
Pretty much what it's going to be.
So with that little group, I would then probably move on and start looking at other nicer things.
Would you replace your 38 straight razors?
Have they gone?
Everything's gone.
Everything's gone.
Oh no! What, back spring as well?
Baxter's gone. Baxter's gone. TK's gone. The world's gone mad. You've got no knives.
So then I'm going to be looking at, I guess, some kind of Ashley custom. I think,
yeah,
fantastic point. A starting point would be a Britbuster. Just a useful blade shape. And
pretty much agreeing with everything you said. There's only one thing I would do slightly differently, but apart from that, yeah.
And then that kind of provides a bit of sex appeal as well, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's got a bit of pizzazz.
Yeah.
The fizz.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'd say your approach and your response is worthy of this. That's some great consideration there. Yeah,
Thank you.
I like that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So then you would just start kind of getting in more to the fancies and the not necessarily users, but just some stuff you'd like to have in the collection.
I would alternate it between the two, because obviously, when you're buying customs, you're spending a lot more money.
Yeah.
And I think it would be one of those things that you would become a parent of the knives that you miss not having them. It's all right sitting here and thinking, what would I miss? But there are definitely certain knives that I lean to reaching for certain things.
Yeah.
Certain and that can be because of the use or because of the kind of the feel like you get from them.
I'm exactly the same. For me, I find it very difficult not to pick up an Arthur Wright or an Ashley every morning.
Yeah.
Even with all the case knives, all the case Barlows, Sodbusters, all the copious rose crafts I've got. Not because the Arthur Wrights and Ashleys are any better, it's just it feels right.
Yeah, definitely. I guess there are certain things that are nice to have. If you were looking for a lock back, because I've focused there on all slip joints. I think my first lock back would be a book, either 112 or 110. Just because they're great. Really.
Yeah.
I know that they're relatively dated in a lot of ways, but then you could say that about an Arthur Wright, couldn't you?
Well, you could say that about us, Sean, couldn't you?
Yeah. All of us.
You could.
We are all kind of dated now.
But yeah, classic Harry.
Do I fit under that category of being dated?
Pretty much, yeah.
No one would date you, buddy.
At the rings.
All right. So you want to go next, or you got more on the topic, Sean? You want to? Is there more that you want? Okay, you're good. Okay. All right. Why don't you go next, then, Mr. Slippy?
Okay. Well, everything, Sean. Everything.
No,
Sean
don't be doing that. Be original. Be your own person.
I have different things I would pick up.
Yes. There we go.
It would be some sort of Arthur Wright would be my first go-to. It would either be a Barlow or a spear, because I love the spear point they do. I think it's as useful as the Barlow. So either of these would be my first purchase. But in one big purchase, I would just buy everything that I carry right now every day. So I've got everything I need so I'd feel normal. So I'd buy myself another torch. I'd buy myself another SOG power pint. And I would pester Lynn until she made me another puss slip. So I would have from the get-go everything I would want to carry. And from there, for me, I know that I wouldn't miss certain knives. I know I've got knives that I like, but I know I wouldn't miss them.
Yeah, totally agree.
Multiples of knives. I would probably, to start with, get one of every of my favorite pattern I like to carry. So I would get myself one new Stockman, one new Barlow, one new Spear Point, one new sack that I would want to carry. So probably be a cadet or a compact, something along those lines. And then once I'm happy with sort of that, I would sort of disperse from there into buying multiples of the same knives, like I've done over here. But I do think it would be a good thing to do it if all the knives disappeared and you could just get the ones that you want, rather than collecting loads and just being like, I love these, but do I touch them or pick them up? No. So although it does sound like hell, It would be like COVID, but for knives, wouldn't it? We
Yeah,
had
interesting way of looking at it. Yeah.
yeah, knife bid 25, and you can only buy knives. Well, for me, I think I might actually then only buy knives that I'm going to use or carry if I had nothing.
Mhm.
So I
So
think
you
my
just
collection would be a hell of a lot smaller than it is now.
I get that.
Because I don't think I'd have like 15, 20 sow bellies or 15 to 20 stockmans. Would I still love them and use them? Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like you'd be more focused, right? Because you maybe have a better concept of the knives that are readily available that you could get at any point, and then there's
And
knives
then
that you. Yeah.
the other thing I would do in my every inch of spare time would be to hunt down a knife that's say the same as the one I've been gifted by someone. So I'd be hunting down a 1991 A-Lock Soldier, be hunting down copious of the sow bellies and knives that John's given me. Anything that Sean's given me or any gift, I would have to search that. Even if it's not the same, it would have the same sentimentality, just to have a knife to replace the one that's been gone. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But those
Even
ones are the
if
ones
it
I'd miss.
wasn't the original gifted knife, you're okay with
Yeah.
having a replacement of the same thing. Yeah.
A replacement because it would be it's hard to say, but it'd be sort of so it'd be like getting another dog after one moves on.
Never really
That
going to
makes sense.
replace the dog, but he'll still
No,
bring
it's
you
not.
joy. The new one will
Yeah.
still bring you joy.
Yeah,
Right.
that exact thing.
That's a good way of looking at it.
I think that the gifted knives would be one of the main things I would have to focus on after getting a carry. One of the ones I think I would like to carry on rotation, and then I think all my focus would be on ones that have been gifted.
Can you give some examples?
Yeah, so I'd have to get a Silvertech Victorinox Climber because that was my first ever knife my father gave me. I'd have to replace. I have to get another one made of these. This is the first ashtray I had made, and I got one for me and John. I'd have to get another one of these made. There's too many to pick up. Even knives that mean because we've been to certain places and picked them up while other people are there, even though it's not a gift. I've got so many sentimental knives that make no sense to me because this is a sentimental one because I bought this at the Bakewell shop when I met up with Sean and Mikey there. But we were all there for the first time together, and it was -7, and it was freezing, and we had a nubby breakfast. But that would be
And-
one I would have to pick up just for the
and-
collection.
And let me remind people you were wearing shorts.
Yes,
He was indeed. I can testify to that.
but even if it's not a gift knife or anything that's got some sort of sentimentality behind it or reminds me of a certain thing, I'd want to replace.
Mm-hmm. All right, Mikey. Let's hear your thoughts.
I've got to be honest. If all of my entire collection of knives went, which is 9 boxes of knives, just disappeared, that were gone, I don't think I'd have 9 boxes of knives again.
No, I know I wouldn't have the same.
Don't. This. You've got a blank canvas, haven't you? Really, you've got a fresh start. To be fair, our tastes have changed loads and loads in just 2 years. The sentimental knives, I wouldn't just go out and buy them because they're not the same knife. It wouldn't have like the same kind of feeling. The one where Slippy said about when me and Sean went for a breakfast and stuff, and we bought a knife, and I'd just do that again. I would do that trip again, and I would buy another knife. I wouldn't just buy one just to replace one that had been lost. And if they're gone, then they're gone. You know, you will get new ones on the way. I would start again exactly where I started all those years ago. I'd still get me buck 110 and me Huntsman. I'm not going to say that I'll be going for a 420 HC standard 110 or a standard Huntsman. I'd be going for like custom models because these are the ones that I really love now. So I would definitely be getting a buck 110 again and a Huntsman just to start me off again, because I had these were just two knives that I had for 30 plus years. I had a big lock back and I had a Swiss Army knife. There are certain brands that I would definitely go for now. I totally fell in love with the Case Sodbusters, so I'd still be going for those. I've got to be honest though, I'd be going for the older ones with tang stamps. I've got a real problem with the lack of a tang stamp. I'm seeing so many knives out there being made to a higher standard that cost a fifth of a Case Sodbuster, and it's got a tang stamp. I don't know why. It's the one thing out of all the little things that Case does that really grates me is the lack of a tang stamp. So yeah, I'd still be looking for the Case Sodbuster because I absolutely love them. I'd be looking for Sheffield Barlows or any Barlows really, but in particular Sheffield ones. This is one of my favourites. This is a Walton Home split point Barlow with the craggy staggy.
The teenager's face stag.
Yeah, but you spin it. Yeah, it's just a real lovely Barlow. So I would be going for like Barlows. I would be still on the Sheffield route again, as Sean and Slippy said. I would be going for Arthur Wrights and Ashley Harrison Customs. That's just turned into one of my favourite knives. I'd still be going for stuff like UK legal Spydercos and smaller knives. So I really do think these are really cool. They're just like mini versions of the larger models. Whether or not I'd go for so many Spyderco and Benchmade locking knives, I don't know anymore. Mainly because the price of them has gone up so much. I'm not sure. I want to. Yeah, I'm not sure that I want to spend ridiculous money on lockback knives that I'm not allowed to carry in this country unless I'm at work, and that's So, as much as I love the Chavez Tack, which is a wonderful knife, I'd probably get another Chavez, but I'd go for this slip joint again. As much as I do love this knife, I think it's what Slippy said about ones you can carry. I think that's where the collection would be going more to now. So I'd have a lot less fixed blades because I'd only need one or two camping. I wouldn't need any more than that. I would be going down the slip joint route mainly. I'd still pick up a couple of these French knives because they're absolutely fabulous.
Oh, the blade wraps.
No blade wrap. No La Blade wrap. No La Bumba either. Look, just lovely slip joints.
Is that a La Bumblebee?
That's no. That's the
No.
The flower.
The flower. The fleur.
Le Fleur. Yeah. That's the Shamrock, actually. But yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I think slip joints with like the fancy wooden handles,
Mm-hmm.
the working back springs, coin milled liners, whatever you want to call them. Anything that looks particularly nice, which I can use and I can carry. Again, I don't think I'd be. Now I've been down that whole route of the Super Steel as well. I'm not sure that I'll be chasing those because I'd have owned them. And
Don't need Super Steel.
I know Slippy's recently got one, but my Shing. I love this Shing. I I think they're quite reasonably priced for what they are. So I'd probably get another Sheen again. So it would change. I would definitely not have as many. I would have more. A higher percentage of what I did have would be ones I can carry on a day-to-day basis. But I would still go back to where it started with a Buck 110 and a Victorinox, and then I'd probably just my collection would probably look a bit more like Elan's does. I think I'd try to keep a lid on it, and if it was one in, it would be one of that kind of thing. When I reached a nice sort of level.
What do you think that number would be?
Honestly, compared to what I've got now, I honestly think I could have a nice collection and enjoy it. I think it would be below 100, maybe about 75.
I was thinking about 50.
Yeah, I was thinking about 75 because that would allow me to have a nice collection of Arthurites, a nice collection of case sodbusters, one or two customs. For all the amount of bucks I've got, I love the 110. I think the 110 is the buck for me. I like the slip joints. I particularly like their 3 spring Stockmans. I think they're pretty cool. But I love the Walton-Home Stockmans as well.
Can you answer this question for me on the screen here?
What does it say? You're going to have to read it out to me because I can't see it.
Okay. I'm sorry. It says, do you think your taste will change in the next couple of years? From Lynn.
You know, I don't think it will. Because where do you go? I've done the moderns, I've done the lock-in knives and the fixed blades. My last port of call was finally slip joints after not really being a slip joint person. My tastes have gone from modern to traditional. And then I've gone from traditional handmade production knives to traditional custom knives. Can't see me going back the way that I came. So my guess
You're not allowed to go back the way you came.
My guess would probably be no. I can't really see it changing. I think in the traditional, I mean, I've worked out that I'm not a double detent guy. I'm not a huge lover of friction folders. I like them. I don't need more than 1 or 2 of them. That's it. It's the slip joints for me, and I think the nicer they are, not the fancier. I don't want something that's super, super blingy, really. But the nicer they are, which is where we become quite picky, where we want no gaps, we want a nice action, we want a nice lock-up, and we want it as centered as possible. As long as I can get that, I think that's probably where I'm going to stay. But I could be wrong. So 2 years' time, ask me again. It may have changed. I can't see it, but you never know.
Yeah, there's still room to grow. It's progressed to traditionals and then also to customs, as Judd's saying here. So it's still progressing, I think. I don't think it's done evolving. I think you're still moving in some sort of direction.
I've never had
more. You certainly become, well, let's just say, more UK patriotic.
Well,
you mean heavy?
I've not. I've never really had a strong compass either. You know, I've just bought the knives that I've liked. You know, I've seen them. When you pick them up, when you hold them, you know, you go, "Oh, that's nice," or you go, "No, that's not for me." Now, I just saw slip joints as dangerous, you know, because they could close on you. I didn't realise you could get slip joints that you can barely open, let alone close. So I'm really happy with that. And then I got into the fancy side of it, as in the different woods and that. You know, I was, you know, just buck, standard ebony or standard ironwood, that it had brass and that, and it was fine. And then you get into juniper wood that smells nice, and it's got a worked back spring, and that's. I didn't want to go down that route. Two years ago at Sharp Show, I just wanted to get a couple of nice case knives. I dug out the photo a couple of days ago and sent it to like a Slippy when I bought three case knives and one GEC at Sharp Show 23, and that's where it all started.
Yeah, that was a pivotal day, wasn't it? That was a
pivotal day, massive day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was being followed by a little dark clothed dude.
Every time I think of that show, I just like rest in peace, Rubber Cutting. Every time I'm just like,
well, those three case knives that I got came from him.
Yeah.
You know, those three case knives. It was a wonderful feeling. When I think back now, you don't realise in the moment that you're actually making wonderful memories. A bit like we did in like Texas. We were just there. We were having a good time. It's a couple of months later now, and I think back to certain moments, and I think, wow, we were having the best time. And at Sharp Show 23, which is where I met Slippy, and I met Sean, and I met Judd, and Stephen, and James from Twisted Assisted, Dan at Blaybridge. That was the first time that I actually met all these guys. And there's all of us stood at Robert Cutting's stall, and he just let us come around the back of the stall just to look through the stock on the back wall, all these metal drawers and stuff. And that was a real pivotal moment where I got into case knives. I didn't know anything about them, so I got to ask all of these friends I just met, what like pattern's that? What's that? You know, and that just blossomed into this.
Yeah, I would just say, even from not even being there, just on the periphery of listening to you guys talk about that experience, I was just overjoyed for you guys. Like that moment is etched in my mind just as a moment of joy for you guys.
Yeah,
I mean,
you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But you don't know that what's happening at the time. You've just turned up to your first blade show, like knife show in the UK. You're going to be meeting a few people that you've chatted to in the chat on a line during people's lives, because I wasn't on the YouTube then.
Yeah.
And you just hope that they're not not a complete twit when you meet them. Sean was just stood like next to me at like Robert Cutting's store. He said, "This is a nice case, Mikey," and I just looked over and went, "Oh yeah, that's really nice. What is it?" Because I didn't know what it was. You know, and he said to me, "It's a knife, you fucking idiot."
Because that's what it is now. That's exactly how it's got to now.
Yeah, so it's just that was a real pivotal moment for me to get into the traditional slip joint side of knives. I'm a big lover of UK and USA knives. They are my favourites. I like a few of the French knives, a few of the Japanese knives, a few of the Chinese knives. Brilliant. The good thing is that a lot of the knives that I do like, hence like the Rosecrafts, the Spydercos, and that I can still get them. You know, they're still current models and stuff. So.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, sir. And guess what?
What?
I think. I'm not clapping out of spite.
Please clap me. Please give me the clap. Come on.
Not that kind of clap. Nope. All right. So I suppose it's my turn.
It's your turn, John. Come on. What you got?
I don't know how to follow some of that stuff. It's incredible. That's fantastic. But I have to start with this because this one, you know, if we didn't really talk about the emotional impact of having lost the knives, how just absolutely crushing that would be.
I've lost the knife and it hurt a lot, and that was one.
Yeah. You lost one knife and you were hurt.
Yep.
You lose your entire collection. That's something else. But losing that knife right there, oh man, that's not replaceable. I mean,
yeah,
I can't get another Randy knife. You know,
nope.
It's just not going to. So, am I even going to bother to try to replace that? No, I just not.
I don't think so. No, I'm not. I feel like the same way, John. If somebody's gifted me a knife and it's gone, then it's gone. Yeah.
You could just certain people you could just ask them to give you another one.
There's another gifted knife from Mo.
Yeah.
Fantastic one that I carry a lot, And some of the ones that I'm gifted, no offense to the person that gifted it to me, but it's not necessarily one I carry just because, I find more joy in carrying some knives than others, and it has nothing to do with the fact that they gave it to me or didn't give it to me. But
Absolutely.
that is one of the few that I was gifted that I actually do carry a lot because it was already used, right? So you're not going to hurt it. But it just means a lot that Mo thought enough to send that. And I keep this really close by all the time too.
Mm-hmm.
I do actually talk to this thing. I know that might sound weird to you guys, but
No, I'm like to dude as well. Dude, I go, dude.
What's up, dude?
We should have all said yes. It's weird.
Yeah, just when he responds, that's when it gets a little strange. There's another one. I carry that one now. That's kind of been my go-to A-locks. And I'm going to look forward to the wear on this one, in part because of what Patty said.
He does appreciate a well-worn sack.
Yeah, he's got that quote, and I just think I was like, all right, I'm just going to make this one wear a little bit, not on purpose, but when it happens, it happens.
I know this one's only silver, but I'm doing the same with this one that Mikey gave me.
Yeah.
It'll still get the wear marks on it. It'll get banged up and stuff,
but it's just a fantastic model. I want to carry it. I love this particular, set of tools.
John, when you, and in no way do I want to sound morbid here, but obviously we've lost Randy. That hurt all of us really, really badly. Right. A lot of us are not the younger generation anymore. So you want to carry the knives that you like and mean something, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You don't. Right. You just don't want to carry like your cheap £10 IMP22. You want to carry something that means something because you pull it out your pocket, and every time it's in your hand and you see it, and you go, "Yeah, that's a great knife."
I'm glad you mentioned. Go ahead.
I struggle not to carry an Ashley because the way I collect my Ashleys or buy my Ashleys, each one of them have a meaning behind. I don't have any that are just I bought an Ashley. Yeah. Every single one has got a meaning. I've got one here. Right? This one is jigged buffalo. I know this is an Ashley got from the famous Sheffield shop, but the jigged buffalo came from when me, Paddy, and Stephen and Mikey, Lemkins went to Arthur Wright's and talked about jigging buffalo for the first time. So that's where that one comes from. This one I got done for Mikey for his birthday.
Oh, thanks, mate. I can't wait to get my hands on that.
You've got yours, Gimp. This one was a gift from Paddy. This one is the one I bought for myself and John.
Yeah.
I know that's John's favourite knife.
That's the next one I was getting.
Another one from one of the meetups at Arthur Wright. This is a group order that we all had sort of intakes into what to get on it.
Yeah.
As well with this one.
Yeah.
And again,
you like to say that I had no input on that sale belly. I just said yes.
No, you did. You picked them up.
Oh yeah, but I wouldn't call that an input. That was more of the output. But
yeah, and then the OG Britbuster, which happened to be, I thought about asking Ashley for them, and me, Mikey, and John were all keen for it. And then it happened to be that Mikey and Judd ordered it well. It just happened to be at the same time. Mikey didn't say he'd ordered anything. Just happened to be at the same time, which I thought.
I didn't order them, did I? It was Judd. Yeah.
But that's where I would go. That's why I find myself drawn to carrying my Ashleys. As much as some of them can be quite expensive, also they all vary depending on what you get and what you.
You've got to carry them. You've got to carry them. I mean, Sean carries all of his Ashleys all of the time.
Yeah, this is my most expensive one, and well, it's scratched. The blade's absolutely filthy. It's been used. I just enjoy using them, even though they're sort of custom expensive knives. I think that's the way they're meant to be. I went through a period of being like, yeah, I want to carry everything. Then I went back to being like, no, I'm just going to carry my favorites. And now I'm full believer on I want to carry everything I own. and it's very hard with that amount of knives.
Yep.
So that's,
So
I
here's
think that's
here's
why I
another
did
that you
Well,
know, to me it's going to be irreplaceable. Because that was when the boys came over.
Yeah, that was your Taylor's Eyewitness Premium Lee
Yeah,
White.
Lee White, and I had no idea they bought that, and
that was
shocked
all
me with it.
Mikey. That's not me. That was all Mikey.
Yeah.
You knew about it.
I
You
knew
agreed.
about it.
You agreed to it.
But yeah, that's not one I'll carry. That, but yeah, it's just too damn nice. So, you know, there's some I'll carry, some I won't, but doesn't mean any less to me.
think
The whole Rough Rider thing, I haven't got into that yet, but
Would you
getting
do it
into the
again,
Rough
Tom?
Riders as part of the channel, and the channel was part of the Rough Rider thing. That was a massive connected thing. And so
Yeah.
I don't know that I would necessarily do that over again simply because it was
Well,
sort
can
of
you
an
imagine trying to find another one of
exploratory.
them black pearl sow bellies that took you 3 years to
Well,
find?
I don't even mean like the sow belly collection. I just mean in general, there'd be a lot of
Yeah.
the Rough Riders that I tried to, as an exploratory thing, to kind of learn what I would like. Whereas you learned after getting massively into moderns or whatever, I kind of like started out in traditionals, dabbled a little bit in the modern stuff, but was always mainly the traditional stuff. And then I wanted to find the patterns since there were so many of them. And I was seeing so many of these different ones, and some of the channels were talking. So I guess positively about some of the patterns over other patterns that I felt like I needed to figure that out for myself, figure out which ones, you know, that I liked the most. And then kind of fell into Sodbusters, fell into Barlows, fell into Stockmans, fell into
Just like us, yeah.
yeah.
There are so many patterns, but every manufacturer does the pattern differently, don't they? They have a different feel.
Yeah.
Yep.
But you know, learned that I didn't really like trappers, and Matt and I had that in common. It kind of was one of the
It's not even
early
so much
things that we had in
disliking
common.
the trapper. It's disliking the particular blade on the
The
trapper.
particular
Yeah,
blade,
that's
because a
it.
single-bladed trapper is a wonderful knife.
Yeah, it's really
I
not
get
bad.
that odd-looking, geeky, long spay blade.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as bad when it's small on a Stockman, you know.
No, but you can ignore it.
But when you've got 3.5 inches of spay blade that's the same length as your clip point and hangs over your clip point, it's really geeky looking. I do get it.
But it's funny because Cherrick says you have to rebuy your blue canoe or a blue mule canoe.
He would have to have the blue bill.
And just for Cherrick, I would do that. I would have done that.
There
Just
would
for
be a
Cherrick.
few Rough Riders that I would go back and get. 100%. There'd be a couple of Rough Riders. There'd be a couple of marbles, and there'd be a couple of Queens as well. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Like that whole series of saw cut. Oof.
Oh,
You know, there'd be at least a couple more I'd go back and get, right? So.
Yeah.
So, you know, it wouldn't be entirely without the collection of that, but there are some knives that just kind of stand out that like I like too much to ignore. There's one, the Broomhilda. If I could find another one of those.
I've never seen a knife with a thicker handle than that.
It's just so fun to carry, you know. Great grip on it. And it's gotten a great response from everybody I've shown it to. Everyone reacts positively to that knife. You know, it's just like it's easy to hold on to, as you can tell. Yeah, but everybody,
grippy. It's grippy wood.
I oiled it, so it's all slick. But there's one. A lot of these Celador style models, I probably wouldn't rebuy.
Yeah, same here. Agreed.
I think there's quite a number of them that I would just like. There's a Deluxe Tinker I really like. There's a couple of the 84 millimeter models that I like. There's one that I have with scissors. I probably wouldn't give that up. You know, if I could ever find another, that would be the problem because those aren't easy to get hold of.
No.
For
me, with the Troynarks, I don't think I would really buy myself the models available now to carry. I think, seeing as I can build them, I would buy a couple of models with the bits I want, then
I
sack
would
them
want
off and
customs.
rebuild them.
I would absolutely
Yeah.
want customs now because I can pick the handles, I can pick the like the tools on them, and I can also pick whether I want like the pins showing or not, and that really makes those ones special to me.
I think going back and buying like the custom bucks, I might have bought some of those same ones a second time, but I definitely would have gotten Desert and Ironwood now that I've seen it in person. Right?
Yeah,
Great.
It's miraculous. It looks fantastic. It's got to be my favorite wood material that they
I
have.
would definitely rebuy my 112 Magna Cut in the
I would-
walnut front blade show, because
I would rebuy my 110.
Yeah. Another one that I would try to get at least something similar to is this. Like, there's the 50TH. There's this gentleman's knife. I
that's the Boca, right?
Yeah, I gotta have something like that. The drop point style with the lockback. Love that.
It's a lovely
So-
knife. It is a lovely knife.
So that would be something too.
I would also try to get the Larin, but I think I would struggle because I would be trying to get it on the second-hand market, wouldn't I? So
Yeah, you having deep pockets to get that.
You got lucky with that one that you found another. The one secondhand.
Yeah, it's really when you look back at the amount of knives you've got and the amount of knives that Slippy's done really well. He's sold on so many knives, and me and you, John, have thought, why is he getting rid of that? Haven't we? It's like, why?
Yeah.
But you do realise, that he's moved his collection around and he's reinvested the money that he's got into other knives, which I think he loves even more.
Yeah.
And there is something to be said for that, not hanging on to to the old stuff just because just because it's yours, or or it's where you started. If you need to move it along to get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
Then I'm still in that process. I'm still moving stuff on. I'm still.
That's going to be you now. I think that'll be you from now on, Slippy. That'll be your process.
I mean, it's kind of funny because when I think about Discord now, and people will just refer to the when he sells stuff, just the Slippy sells, and everybody they're legendary on Discord, right? Like everybody's looking forward to another Slippy sell. So
there will be another one. I know Tony's in here. There will be another one, Tony.
Tony needs to have a sale, I think, like a Tony sale, because he's got way too many sheds.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Let me before we get going any further, do a roll call really quickly. I want to acknowledge some people that came in later on. So we got Mike McLaughlin, we got Slippy, Mark, Scott, Lynn, Joy, Peter, of course, our moderator, Cherrick, Andrew, John, the Jam Joe, new to the channel. I haven't seen him before, so welcome. We got myself, Joseph McDonald, Tony from Blade and Wells, Peter Tiffany. How you doing, Peter? We also had Radar 468, Jason Beecher, 1 Minute Knife Review, Boomer's Blades, Nigel Loftus, Scott to Blades. How you doing, Scott? Did I already say 1 Minute Knife Review? Can't remember. Hello again.
Yep.
Okay. Who else? I think that's almost everybody. Thomas, how you doing, Thomas? Thomas says, as for knives with sentimental value, I wouldn't attempt to replace with a duplicate, which you have no sentimental value. That makes sense, right? Just have the memory.
Just make some more new ones, don't you?
Right.
You go out with your friends again and you buy a knife again, or
yeah, exactly. So when you guys come again, all of you guys are coming, hopefully, if things go the way it's supposed to.
Sean,
be coming in to Texas. So yeah, that'll be another special moment where something will be relevant at that point. So yeah, I look forward to that. Let's see, what else do we have? We had Jim. How you doing, Jim? And Judd. How you doing, Judd? And Alabama Knife and Tool. It's good to see you in here. We got Elon. How you doing, Elon? Mr. Orlando. And of course, we had Joy. Joy, Randy's mother. And we have Griff. How you doing, Griff? Let's see. I think.
And Benny as well.
We have Benny. Yep. Hello, Benny. And Zen Ali. How you doing?
Oh, is it? Hey, Zen. I didn't see Zen in there.
Kathleen. How you doing, Kathleen? Hope everyone's well. There's Norwegian Tinker. Benny. How you doing, Benny? All right. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Try to catch everybody. Oh, Rob Tenring. I just saw that as well. So hello, Rob. So lots of good people in here. If you're enjoying the show, make sure you hit the like button, even if you have to lie a little bit.
If you're not lie, just press it anyway.
Yeah, just lie and press it anyway. That's kind of how that works. All right, Sean. So one other kind of more direct question. So you've lost the collection.
Yep.
What's the one that's gonna make you cry? What's the one of those tear jerkers? The tear jerkers.
That's a tough one. It'll probably be something with sentimental attachment, a gift from someone. Trying to pick one. Going to probably be something that's no longer made, no longer available. That's a tough one to answer.
It is tough, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you think about all the gift knives that we've all received in the past 2 years, tough question.
The thing is, however attached we are to them, the knives can be replaced, can't they? Even not with exactly the same knife, you can buy another knife.
Right.
But it's that kind of meaning that you're attached to something that was a gift from somebody that's probably no longer here. I'm struggling to choose a particular knife, to be honest.
I couldn't pick one.
Well, you don't have to pick anything particular, but I think you've kind of answered the question just by saying, it'd be
a gift,
a gifted knife.
Yeah. You're right. It's not so much about the knife, is it? Because if you had asked me that question 8-9 months ago, I'd have been like, "Oh, which one would it be?" But now I know for a fact it would be the copper lock that was from Randy. And I've had a lot of gift knives. I've been very, very lucky to make some really nice friends and receive a lot of gifts. And I love them all. But I suppose right now, the one I would hate to lose out of any of them, the one that would really hurt and cut to the bone, would be like the copper lock from Randy.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
Yeah.
But you got to be pragmatic, though, haven't you? I mean, they're just material things. The thing that you carry with you, it's like when you lose anybody, the memories are still there. The actual physical stuff isn't, but
I mean, Slippy gave me a Rough Rider with a broken blade. That was I don't have that knife anymore.
But you still love them.
Still love it.
Just didn't love the knife.
I gave it to a good friend. Who was in need of a knife.
Yeah. Someone might, all those same things apply. Like, that's the most treasured, right? For so many reasons. Because that knife went through a journey. It was a surprise gift from Slippy. And then I almost didn't have the heart to tell him that the handle cracked because I felt so bad. Like I thought he would assume that I did something and mishandled it and it broke. So I was afraid to tell him for a bit, like that the handle shrunk. I was like, is there any way we can maybe get that rehandled?" He's like, "Sure." And then his cracked later, and I was like, almost kind of thankful that it had, so that it wasn't just me that had something go wrong with it. But his broke, and then he got his rehandled, and he just did his thing, and I did my thing. And so then now we have our own personality to the knife. So it's just, there's nothing quite like that one, right? That one's just had a journey like no other. And then of course I really treasure this one because just yeah, Mikey. That was one
the
of
sheath for the gambler.
that was like one of the first things that Mikey gifted me, and
then
we got some special accessories for it. You know,
we did a bit of customization on it, didn't we?
Yeah, and the screws. So that's really cool. That's never leaving the collection. So, you know, just there's certain things. It's just it would hurt me hard.
Yeah. I've got maybe 20 knives that are gifts. I say 20, it probably could be more, but if I lost those, I could live with losing the rest of the collection if I didn't lose those. Kind of thing.
Yeah, and like we were saying about,
happily continue with my just having my gift knives and not buying anything else.
Yeah, I just end up using them though. If I, because if I had no money to replace it,
you'd have to. You'd be forced into using them.
Yep. It's another. I know it's kind of been a recent carry. You guys are probably sick of seeing it by now, but that means a lot to me because of the Blade Show thing and what all that meant. Yeah.
Blade Show was. I still think back. I know it was only the first week of March.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't long ago. We're just coming up to like May now, but it was just an amazing time, an amazing experience, especially for like me and Slippy, because we've had to go halfway around the world to experience that, and it was just
job together. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know it at the time. I don't think I realized it until he was here and told me, but he had never made a trip to America. I don't think I'd ever asked him that prior to that. So yeah, it was his first time to America. So that's pretty poignant. Like, you came the first time to see my ugly ass? What the hell?
Yeah. Damn right, boy.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. But now I'm looking forward to Sean coming now. And Lynn as well. Love to meet Lynn.
It's the whole Lynn. Yes, Lynn. It's the whole knife hobby and users. And I know there's people out there that just use their knives. There's some that just keep them in a drawer. There's some that do like a bit of both. But it's not the fact that it's the knife anymore, is it? It's the friendships.
Yeah.
I got a chance to pop into a place where me, Slippy, and Sean go to on a regular basis at Hemswell, and I was on my own. I was on my lunch break, and I went to the first shop, and then I just left. It just wasn't the same. It just want to do it with like friends.
Yeah.
You want Lynn there and Sean there and Slippy there, and then you want Sean to fart or something. I never thought I'd say that I missed Sean's farts, but there you go.
And then insert one of the many quotes. They're all inside jokes that no one else would get.
Any quote. People must look at us as a group walking around there thinking those four were talking complete rubbish.
How much?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So, anything else that any news or other topic you want to discuss?
Well, Slippy's got an obsession at the moment with buying wooden cutlery boxes.
No.
Yeah, he does. He does.
I picked him one up yesterday as well in a proper what you would think of as I won't call it an antique shop. I'd call it a shop that was full of crap. And you had to wade through a lot of rubbish just to find something decent. But I found I found Slippy a really nice cutlery box. And now he's doing them all up and he's putting liners in them and stuff as like knife boxes. And pretty amazing.
I think you missed your calling as a Price is Right model. Slippy.
As a model, did you say? Right, no, you don't do it so creepily like that. You're like a 1970s Top of the Pops presenter. Have you seen this man?
Yeah, I think that they're perfect to store knives, and if it'll let me, I can actually. Will it let me do this?
Yeah, it'll let you do it.
Where's he going?
He's going to his other camera. There we go.
He's gone mobile.
Going
Hang
mobile.
on. Hello.
Hello.
Terrible
Go
view, isn't it?
I can show you.
You see right
Nostril
up his
cam.
nostrils.
Nostril cam.
Nose cam.
Fish eye
Pod
cam.
cam. Pod cam. Eye cam.
I can show you some of the ones that I've done previously.
Ah.
So this
Nice.
is one of them. And weirdly,
We can't hear you, but this is a nice photo. Because your
Can you hear me
camera
back a
mic.
little bit here?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
Now
so
we can-
it doesn't show me on the phone what you're looking at, so I have to look at the screen.
Okay.
So this
Is that a packet of yeah,
No.
it's a packet one of these.
Silica gel.
It's no, it's
All right.
so
Smart.
That's what I did there, and then I've got multiple here.
I did say that it got a bit mad. I think he's got 9, 10, 11 now. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's got a lot of wood in his bedroom. That's all I can tell you. This is where his collection's going, you see.
Is there people hiding under the bed? Is that what you're trying to tell me? With all the wood.
He's been so what can I say? His collection's changed loads. It's definitely gone from quantity now to like, oh god, I'm trying to. It's just yeah, I can't carry on with this. It's just, you say that he's got a serious collection.
Yeah, I do. I'd say so. 100%. Now,
Yeah.
with your Rosecraft collection,
Yes.
I just don't see any end in sight for that one. For me, I think I would probably have to go back and buy at least 60% of what I have. Because
I can tell you what I would buy straight away from Rosecraft.
Yeah. What's that?
Sowberry, Cane Creek, Briar Patch, and either a Loosahatchee or the Otter Creek Barlow.
Oof, you missed out on one I would definitely pick up quick. That's the Farmhand.
Yeah, love the Farmhand, but I like those more.
Okay.
I've got to say, having owned, as in they've been taken away from me. If I had lost all of my Rosecrafts, I would not have the collection that I have now. I would not go back to get them all because I've owned them and I've experienced them, and as great as they are, there would only be 5 that I would rebuy, I think.
Okay. What about you, Sean? On the Rosecrafts.
Chucky, the old Chucky.
Mm-hmm.
That would definitely be coming back. The Loosahatchee.
Loosahatchee. Okay.
Just love that. Farmhand, which
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
kind of can't say it'd be coming back because I'm waiting for one to be delivered. So
Right. Okay. Did you get the darker or the yellow?
the yellow.
Yellow. Okay.
Definitely those. And also, I haven't yet got the Otter Creek,
Oh, okay.
which I'm probably going to get at some point.
Okay.
You
Well,
will,
good.
okay.
You didn't get it stolen from you because you didn't have it yet.
You see,
yeah.
that's
Go on, John.
Advantages of delaying your purchase, I suppose.
yeah. Haha.
Yeah, we only got one knife.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up there. appreciate everybody coming in today. Jarek, our moderator, appreciate you doing your job here, putting in all the links. Thanks to everybody who dropped by today. Thought this was a real fun topic. I think you guys had some fantastic responses as well. So, yeah, big applause to all of our panel today. I thought they did a fantastic job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But I
Thank
appreciate you guys, as always, appreciate you guys coming, being part of the program. Next week, Slippy, you going to be around?
Yes.
Okay. You guys going to be coming around as well, or are you taking a week off? Nope. Good.
I think I'll be here. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we should have the same 4 guys next week. And Andrew, I want to talk to you about a USA program that I've tinkering around the old brain.
Are we going to get like taxed on it if we watch it though?
It's going to be one of those things that is not going to be UK friendly because of the time slot. So unless you want to be up like 3 in the morning, you probably aren't going to catch it. But I figure I need to do more, I guess, USA programming. Is that fair to say? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because everything is just so UK heavy around here. Look at this. Being bombarded.
Sheffield heavy.
A little bit Sheffield heavy. That might need to make things a little more case heavy at some point with Andrew or something. But just something I'm tinkering around with. Maybe like a midweek stream in like the evening around 9:30 my time, something like that maybe. So we'll see. Just an idea at this point. Just a seed of an idea. But something to consider. Andrew, if you're listening. All right. So any other late news? Anything else that you wanted to talk about? Anything knife related that you need to mention?
No.
You don't want to mention the thing that's coming on later today?
The one.
Sean, discuss. I'll let you do the butt plug of the week.
Shameless butt plug.
Oh, I know what's coming.
Make sure you bring the candle. Is it the candle? Yes.
Shameless plug. Join us later, Mark and myself, for the Wasteland Survival Guide live 9:30 UK time and something else American time.
3:30.
Do you have a wonderful guest, Sean?
We have a very wonderful guest.
Who is that
Benny.
one guest, Sean?
We have Benny.
Benny. All right. I look forward to that.
And
What the Norwegian tinkerer?
Norwegian tinker. All right.
Well, that man has a nice knife collection and a few rather stunning pens.
oh, indeed, some nice book as well.
All right. So that should be fun. So go check out MB_EDC on YouTube, 9:30 UK time tonight. Don't miss it. Sean will be there.
I wonder what Harry Scrap is this week.
Oh, I'm hoping it'll be custom buttons.
Oh, he said to me he was gonna, without spoiling too much, he's gonna do a little bit of switching things up a little bit.
Oh,
so that it may not just be knives that he shows.
Oh, don't blow the whistle just yet.
It may not be knives. Could it be pens?
Are you referring to an EDC item in the whistle?
Keep Harry Scrap on sporks.
Ben's got some amazing pens.
But for me, though, if you showed 3 different pens, it's a pen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get it.
Okay. So check out Mark.
Treewood pen.
We're out of here. We'll see you next week. Love you guys.
Look after your knives and look after your friends. See you later.
That's right. And don't lose your knife collection.
Damn it.